Hello students. Today we are going to start with chapter 5 of geography, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. Children, in this chapter we will study about the flora and fauna of India, that what kind of varieties we have, how many species do we have of our of flora and fauna in our country, and about the types of vegetation which we have in our country and the reasons of that variety in our country. So, first in this chapter, we will discuss about the factors that affect the biodiversity in India. Like I told you just in the introduction about the flora and fauna of our country. Types of vegetation. What are the different kinds of vegetation we are having in our country? Like mountain vegetation, mangrove vegetation, evergreen forest, and like so. Next, we will discuss about the wildlife, means fauna, the variety of the variety of the species of animals, birds, insects in our country, and what are the steps that is taken by the government for their conservation. Means different bioreserves which are opened by the government, uh, wildlife sanctuaries, the biotechnical parks, and all. So, children, let's start with our topic. In this first slide, what we have come to know about the number of plant species, flowering plants, animal species, bird species, and fish species in our country. Children, you can see here that we have 47,000 plant species in our country, and we stood 10th in the world and 4th in Asia. We have 15,000 flowering plant species, 6% of the world flowering plants we have. If we talk about fauna, means animals, we have 89,000 animal species, 1,200 bird species, and 2,500 fish species in our country. 5 to 6% of amphibians, reptiles, and mammals are there in our country. You can save this slide for reference. Next, what is virgin vegetation? Children, as the name itself is suggesting, that it is a kind of plant community that is untouched. If we talk about this key term, it is a community that grows naturally. Sometimes we have seen that there are few plants which grows without any human aid. We did not give soil, we did not give seed to those plants. They just grow naturally by themselves. And that particular vegetation which grows naturally is called natural vegetation. But if that kind of vegetation left undisturbed for a long period of time, that is known as virgin vegetation, means untouched vegetation. Children, now we will talk about the factors which affect the flora and fauna of our country. First, we will discuss about the relief features. As we have studied in chapter 2 of geography also about the relief features, the first relief feature which affects the flora and fauna is land. We have started already in chapter 2 that India is a country with different kind of landforms. We have forest, we have mountains, we have fertile lands, we have deserts. So different lands have different kind of vegetation. So in India we have variety. Next is soil. Obviously when the land is different, the soil is different. The soil which we have in the deserted areas, in the mountainous areas, in the fertile plains, in the coastal areas is obviously different. So the vegetation in these areas are also different. Next we will discuss about the climate. Climate plays a very important role in vegetation. First let's talk about temperature. Obviously temperature decreases, the if the temperature decreases, the type of vegetation is like what I can say is it is more conical, it is more in cone shape. Fine. And when the temperature is low, the temperature is high, the vegetation can be like cacti and thorns, like in deserted areas. So it impacts the vegetation. Next is photoperiod, means sunlight. The quantity of sunlight a particular area receives definitely impact the growth of plants because plants and trees grows faster in sunlight. Next we'll talk about precipitation. Precipitation means water forms which are received. The vegetation which received more water are different and the vegetations which receives less water are different. Forests obviously are a very important component of our life. We can say that they are playing a very important role because they modify the local climate. Obviously, the areas which has more green trees, which has more plants, it is always cool. The air around that area is always pure. Fine. So next is it controls soil erosion. We all know that the trees they hold the roots of their roots hold the soil, so it controls the soil erosion. They regulate the stream flow. They support industries as well. They provide shelter to wildlife of our country. They offer very beautiful pictures. Fine, it controls winds and temperature. It causes rainfall. It gives shelter to wildlife. There are plenty of reasons which we have already studied in our junior classes that why the forests are very important for us and they play a very important role for us. Children, in the next topic, we will discuss about the types of vegetation. In this chapter, we will discuss 5 types of vegetation: tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, tropical thorn forest and scrubs, montane and mangrove forests. Here are some notes which are given to you people about the tropical rainforest. Children, rainforests are also called evergreen forest because they don't have any season to shed their leaves. The height of the trees is high and it is around 60 meters. The average height of the trees are around 60 meters. These forests you can found in the Western Ghats and island group of Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Means majorly in the areas with good rainfall we can say. As the region is very warm and wet throughout the year, these particular kind of forests have all type of tree forms. They have trees, shrubs, creepers. Fine. They are evergreen forests, I've already told you, and they grow commercially very important trees like ebony, mahogany, rosewood, rubber, and cinchona. We found many animals in these forests: elephant, monkey, lemur, deer, and so many kind of birds, bats, sloths, scorpions, and snails are also found in these forests. You can see the picture of tropical evergreen forest, and you can also see the multi-layered structure of the trees in this particular picture. Thank you so much, children, for listening, and we'll meet again with the next video very soon.